turn on our audio. Hold on a second there. There we go. That's better. Welcome, 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 everybody. Welcome, Russell.
Hey, welcome.
Whew, that was a bit of fun just before the broadcast, wasn't it?
Was it?
Well, what do you think? Was that fun?
No.
What happened? You want to tell
fun.
people? Why don't we let you tell people exactly what happened just before our
I
broadcast?
could hear a dripping in the dungeon.
Okay, so for those of you that don't know, our studio is in the basement of our house, and he was sitting here and he went, "I hear something dripping." I'm like, "No, there's no dripping." And he said,
Shut up. I can hear dripping.
yeah, that was pretty much the extent of it.
Yeah.
So then he's like, then he starts roaming around the basement over by, there is only one section where our pipes are in the basement. That's the good news.
Yeah.
There's there's one pipe that runs all the way to the front, but then the rest of them are all over in one corner, basically. So you went over to that corner.
I thought it was the PEX. Maybe a joint had gone on the PEX piping, but then I realised it was
coming through the hole in the floor.
Coming from
the kitchen.
The ceiling, so the floor in the kitchen, yeah.
Yeah.
And
I wonder if that's the moisture that was actually in front of the cupboard that I pointed out to you earlier.
Possibly, yeah.
It possibly was. So anyway, so he went upstairs and to investigate, and about a minute later, all of a sudden I hear a clank, 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 bang!
Yeah.
At which point, the pipe from our kitchen sink fell out of the ceiling.
And it's because the waste pipe to the sink had disconnected.
Yes, and it was pouring water inside the brand new kitchen cabinet.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. Well, but thankfully we have our friends' kids that are staying with us because they've just had a new baby. So congratulations to Lou and Shauna on a brand new baby boy who has no name yet because literally he texted me like about a minute.
So we may be doing a competition for Name the Baby.
instead of Name
the Gnome.
Instead of Name the Gnome, Name the Baby.
I've had a few. I've had suggestions from Italy and the UK.
Yes.
So far.
Oh, you have had?
Oh, yeah. I've
fantastic.
Yeah, I've had.
That's good. Unfortunately, they won't be getting tickets to the Milwaukee Garden Home Show, but that's okay.
They can have tickets.
Well, they can have tickets, but that's kind of pointless.
They will have to provide their own flights.
Yes, they will have to provide their own transportation to get there, and that's quite pricey just for the Milwaukee Home and Garden Show. So, but anyway, so that was a lot of fun just before the broadcast. A little bit of home repair. So guess what's going to happen right after the broadcast?
Yes, so I've had one name was Vladimir.
Vladimir the Gnome. That doesn't seem like a gnoming type name.
I think it's the Russian influence.
Okay,
or to
all right.
do with... and the other one is Azzurro.
Azzurro. Well, he is blue.
Adriano. Yeah.
So he is blue.
Yeah.
And let me just see what I've had some entries into mine as well. There's quite a few comments on mine. Let's see here. Gustav. I've got Gustav the Gnome. Yep, that was one of mine.
That's a good name.
One person said it looks magical, so they voted for Merlin the Gnome. Merlin. And Gina Murphy, one of my favorite clients, says the Keeper of Blooming Garden. I'm like, wow, that's a long name, but okay.
Yeah.
The Keeper of Blooming Garden is hers. Alfred, from our friend Kathy Feiner. Kathy said, Alfred, with two exclamations after it. And Terry Spurbeck Dixon, our friends in Iowa, Nomer the Homer Specialist.
Good one.
I like that one. I have to say, there's a couple of them in there that are good. We're going to be drawing the names for that on the 18th. So we'll come back to that, and on the 18th we will draw some names.
We could actually draw it live on the
No, the
Thursday
18th
show.
is the Friday.
Shame, you should have said the Thursday. We could have drawn them on the show.
Yes, but at the moment, this is...
Yeah, so if anyone has a name to pick, go onto either of our Facebook pages and
you can vote.
Put it in.
You can also vote through our stories. I'll be throwing something up on... I'm going to be doing some reels on Instagram and asking for names there. I haven't had anybody on my Instagram name the gnome, even though I did ask for it on my post, on my feed. So, and I put it in my stories and on reels. So we haven't had anybody on Instagram name him, so we'll see.
Yeah,
but we have had a good response from Facebook. So on the 18th, we'll be drawing some tickets. We were going to draw some tonight if we had a good response from Instagram, but Not so much. So we're going to run it again for Instagram for next week because we had 0 people respond on Instagram. So.
Yeah.
Anyway, but our topic tonight is not about gnomes or naming gnomes.
It could
or be. It's not.
Some people get infatuated over gnomes.
Well, that's true. But really what it is it's about addiction. So today, and actually I'm going to pull up the article just to make it a little bit easier. I just realized I probably should pull that article up. But today, so every day I think it is. Isn't it every day that we get something from Inman News?
No,
pretty
not
much
every day.
Oh, pretty much every day I feel like I get something from Inman. Yeah, just about. Let's see, dismiss all of those.
I think it's once a week I get it.
Oh, goodness. Oh, no. It's way more frequent than once a week. But today, for sure, Inman headlines. Is it Inman headlines? Or it might have been actually yesterday. Are real estate portals addictive? Consensus grows as users scroll. So the article actually goes on to say, psychologists, addiction experts, and gamification specialists agree search portals like Zillow and Realtor.com can be irresistible. But the question is, how big of a problem is it? Do you think it's a big problem?
Nah.
Well, the article goes on to say that, oh goodness, it doesn't have me logged in. All right, log into Inman. I do hate this because it doesn't log me in automatically from my computer, even though I have a. Anyway, so the article goes on to say, Redfin and Zillow put me to bed every night, says one person in a recent discussion on Facebook. And let's see here. Some real estate agents will say that she witnesses behavior bordering on addiction from her clients. I call it real estate porn because so many people have a really bad addiction to this. Clients send this agent properties in the middle of the night at 2 a.m., 3 a.m., and 4 a.m. And I'm like, I know you have to get up at 6 a.m. How are you up at 3 a.m. sending me properties? And they're not even properties that they are even considering buying. Or even they're not even really considering buying. They're just like, hey, look at this. This is cool. This is interesting. And so the question is, what do you guys think? What do you guys think? What do you think, Russ? Are you addicted?
I wouldn't send out properties at 3 o'clock in the morning, and I wouldn't ask for others to send them to me either. I wouldn't think too kindly on that.
Well, you
but
wouldn't.
That's one of the reasons we shut our phones down
at 9 o'clock.
A certain time, yeah.
Yeah. Well, we'll tell people at 9 o'clock. We shut our phones down at 9 o'clock, and I am not ashamed to say that because that's just to me.
So if you send something to me at 1 o'clock in the morning, I'm not going to see it till later anyway. Now, some of my clients do work through the night, and I can understand they're on their lunch break and they're looking through properties, and they say, oh, yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing this. And they're going to text me those details, or they're going to send it over and say, hey, Russ, I'd like to see this house. You know,
but they don't expect you to respond in the middle of the night.
They don't expect me to respond.
That's because those are clients, though, that are getting off of work at 11 or 12 o'clock at night, so they're taking a couple minutes, and they're not going to go see it till later. Yeah. And they're not going to go see it till later anyway.
But they know I would need to schedule it
when you get up.
When I get up,
right,
so that they can see it in the afternoon.
Right, exactly. Yeah. And you already have like a set time for those clients as to when you're going to go look at properties with them.
If people are working shift work, I always set a plan in. Okay, so what time a week can we see properties between?
Right.
And then we'll set it up.
Yeah, absolutely. And then that makes sense because you do kind of have to make a little bit of a plan.
Yeah.
I mean, we have to plan for that a little bit. I just realized our cameras were off a little bit. So I thought, I'll fix those really quick.
Whoops, I'm off screen on that
one.
on
that one, yeah.
I have to lean forward.
Well, let me fix that a little bit because it was a little bit too much of me now.
You're one extreme and I'm the other.
No, don't do that. Reset.
I've gone.
Ah! No, you haven't gone. There we go. That's better. No, I started to move the wrong camera.
Ah.
And if I do that when it's actually the camera that's in use, then it's a bigger problem. Now we're pretty much fixed.
Okay.
Still a little bit more of me, but that's all right. I'll fix that in a minute here. So, no, you're fine. Stay where you are. I can move the camera easier than I can move you.
Okay.
All right. There he is. He's back again, folks. Oh, goodness. All right, so we'll put Russ back in the spotlight here. So, so you have clients who do that to you, who they're not addicted, though.
No.
This is more about their work schedule. And I think it's a little bit different if it's more about their work schedule.
And they're mainly checking the links that I've sent them anyway. So
right.
We do send our clients a specialised link so that they can pull it up wherever they are on their phone, and they can see what properties are actually available.
But, I mean, there is a slight addiction to homes because one of the reasons we're even in this business is because we love cool homes.
Yeah.
And to be honest, we've looked at Realtor.com a lot with homes that we may never buy at all.
We've gone to open houses before.
In areas where we know we're not going to buy.
Yeah, like Arizona and places like that. We've gone to open houses.
I know, we're really sick. We're super sick real estate agents.
Other realtors work.
We go to open houses on vacation.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
But it's cool to see what's trending for our clients.
Well, it's cool to see what's trending across the nation.
Yeah.
And in different markets. So I will say that when we do go to an open house when we're on vacation, it's more about chatting with other agents. Hey, what's happening in your market? Just kind of networking with people a little bit. Although last time we were in Arizona and we went to open houses, it was really interesting because you could see the whole gamut of agents.
Yeah.
One was super sloppy but kind of friendly, but probably not something I'd want to work with because he seemed really, really sloppy and disorganized. And that wasn't impressive. And then there was the other guy who was too cool for school. You remember him?
Yeah.
He didn't even get up. He didn't even get up from his desk. He just said, he sat at the table with his laptop open, looking like, look around, let me know if you have any questions, and like never blinked from his laptop. And then there was that other lady, though. She was pretty nice.
She was okay, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, she seemed to know her property that she was supposed to be doing, and she seemed to know what she was talking about. I think she was trying to sell something that had been on the market for a while, and I think she knew it needed a price reduction. Like, as another agent, I could see the telltale signs of, I know this house is overpriced.
Make an offer.
Please make an offer because I know this house is overpriced, but I can't say anything. But she seemed friendly. She seemed competent. So it was kind of interesting because you still see those. The too cool for school guy wasn't even in that great of a house.
No.
All the houses were nice. Like, honestly, I think the nicest person was in the least nice house. Like, it was the smallest house. She was in the smallest house, wasn't she, of the three, I believe?
No, I don't think it was the smallest.
Well, hers and the guy who was super
yard, but it was.
That's right. It had the smallest yard. That's right. That one had the smallest yard, and the house was about the same as the guy who was friendly but really disorganized looking and kind of sloppy in his attire. And that's why I go on at you sometimes, if you look sloppy, because it makes a difference. And you're like, oh, crap. Now I got to listen to Kimberly. But we're a little bit addicted to real estate. So what about you guys? Are you slightly addicted to real estate? What do you think? Because, I mean, you got to admit, 2 or 3 in the morning, that is a little excessive when you know. And like this agent
if you're
said,
not supposed to be at work.
Well, like this agent said, though, she knows they're going to work at 6 in the morning. So then the question is, at 2 and 3 in the morning, you're up, unless you got up early, you know.
Maybe they get up at 3 o'clock every morning to get ready and leave for work so that they get to work for 6.
Do you know what my biggest problem with this article is?
What?
Is that it keeps talking about gamification specialists. And do you know what a gamification specialist is?
Someone
I meant to look it up.
With gamification.
What is I'm going to actually look. I'm going to Google it right now while we're talking.
Specialist at it.
We're gamification gurus and experts to ensure that game mechanics are baked into all of our solutions. What is gamification?
Gamers.
For gamers? The most popular definition is game elements in non-game settings. Okay, that still seems like a really big word that I don't need to know. But that's kind of crazy. Yeah. The top 20 gamification experts. Anyway, so using this term, I'm like, even me in the industry doesn't understand it. But apparently in 2014, an independent poll was commissioned by Discover Home Loans. Okay? And the 2/3 reported that looking at online property listings has reached the point of becoming addictive. Now, I think the reason this is important, though, is that when we talk to people about the fact that nobody, like everybody looks online, This kind of an article kind of proves that point.
Yeah.
Like we say to our clients, we're like, look, you need to understand that the very first time anybody's going to see your house is online.
Yep.
It is the number one.
That's why it's really important to take really great pictures.
So, and this is interesting because with the market going so crazy right now, some people think you don't have to take pictures at all because every house will sell. But that's not entirely true.
No, it's not.
Because you still have to take great pictures because you want to attract the best buyers. It's not just about...
Will you attract a buyer? Sure,
absolutely.
Maybe.
No, absolutely. In this particular market, you, even without pictures, you will probably attract a buyer to come look at your house.
Yeah.
You will probably attract 10 buyers to look at your house.
Possibly. But it could have been number 11 that would have come to look at your house that would have given you the best deal.
Well, and that's the thing, is that sometimes it's not even about the money. And that's the other thing. I had somebody contact me today, and the first question out of their mouth was, what is your commission? I mean, this person literally put into our website that they wanted a value for their property. And I reached out to them because there was no information online that said, hey, this is where, like, this is, you know, this is how many bedrooms, this is how many bathrooms, this is how many square feet. I could find the property in the tax records, but it gave me zero information except for the acreage, like how many acres it was. And so I reached out to this person and texted them and said, hey, how many bedrooms, bathrooms, do you know what your square footage is approximately? And, you know, and what kind of garage, like, do you have, you know, how many size, what size, and attached or detached? And he came back, but the very first question he asked me was what my commission was. And I was like, well, in my mind, I went, okay, I get that, but aren't you kind of putting the cart before the horse? Because you don't even know if you want to sell your house.
Yeah.
Like, you don't even have the numbers in front of you. How can you make a decision as to whether I'm going to give you something free? And that kind of, it didn't irritate me, but it just perplexes me. Because why reach out to me if that's the only thing you care about? Like, why reach out to any agent if commission is the only thing you care about? Don't you want to get the best buyers? Don't you want to have a solid transaction? Don't you want to have everything close in a great, timely manner?
Yeah.
I mean, those are all super important as well. So I am a little addicted to going on and looking at houses online. And you are as well, because every morning you do love to get up and look at the MLS and look at what's new.
I always check out what's new in our market.
How hard was it to get me to... I had to stop you from looking at everything because it was wasting a lot of your time. You were spending like 2 hours a day looking at stuff that was never like, or very rarely...
I didn't have a client in that marketplace.
You had no client.
I do like to know what's out there, however.
Right, but every day you don't need to know every single one. Once a week... touch it, absolutely. Every week touch the whole market, but every day you don't have to touch the whole market if you don't have a client working on that. So but how hard was it for me to get you to stop that?
Because I like to know exactly what's in my market.
Yeah.
And now I only know what's really in my market for the people who I'm working with.
Yeah, but who are the most important people to know for?
The people I'm working with.
Well, there you go. And so that's why it's important. But it is, I'm not saying you were truly addicted, but I can see how people could get addicted to that. Yeah. Because it was hard to kind of tear you away from that mindset of, ooh, I just want to see everything. I want to, and don't get me wrong, it is fascinating. I can totally go down that rabbit hole.
Yeah, you can, but also it's not always a thing. Oh, that's a nice house. Or this one's $1 million.
But that's where where a lot of times we stop.
You look at it and you think, there's no way that's worth $1 million. Or
especially if you're looking in California.
They've underpriced this, or so. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
and there's no value
in California.
And there's no value to that.
Ridiculous.
But it's understandable that people do get a little addicted to the idea of searching for a home or looking at homes and critiquing homes. And it's really easy to do that when you're not the one buying or selling the house. So, but anyway, that's kind of all we were talking about tonight. So I'd be interested. Go ahead and leave a comment below. We'd love to know what you guys think. Are you addicted to looking at great homes? Because honestly, we did say before the broadcast, we were like, well, we kind of are, because that's one of the reasons we're in this industry is because we like it. So if you are somebody who's addicted to looking at great homes online, maybe you should become a real estate agent. Maybe you should contact us if you're interested in
for doing your addiction.
Get paid for your passion and your addiction of looking at awesome houses. So, okay, so the moral of the story tonight is get addicted and then get paid for it.
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying?
Uh-huh.
And on that note, I think we need to end this broadcast before we make some serious mistakes. You know what I didn't put up tonight?
What?
I forgot to put up our banner. There we go. Kimberly and Russell Mann. That's who we are, in case you've never joined us before. And we are TAMT Homes at Shore West Realtors here in the Racine and Kenosha counties. So if you have any questions, we do touch into Milwaukee County as well. Mm-hmm. But primarily Racine and Kenosha is where we work, and a little bit in Milwaukee, depending on how nice you are. And yeah, so that's who we are. And if you need any help, we are here to help you.
Yes, we
Let us know. If you need help with your addiction, if you need help becoming an agent, let us know that too. Otherwise, have a great evening, guys. And
I've got to become a plumber.
Yes, and now we're going to let Russ go off to be a plumber. Talk to you later. Bye for now.